So I am finishing up the last touches of my last board for a little while. As you can see over here, I did two other boards. All these are for a friend and his family. You can see this one board over here is basically the same as this, except for I did the additional cut and shifted all those. It's the first time I'd ever done that, and I screwed it up a little bit. At first glance, you don't notice it, but I can tell that I didn't line those up exactly right, so it's a little bit off. So I got to find a way to, make sure that it's all lined up better next time. So also, what I'm going to do differently this time is with every board I've done before, those are 2 of 4 boards. This is the 5th board here. I've used, after I used the mineral oil, I put on a combination of beeswax with mineral oil. I would, it kind of solidifies, obviously. I would warm it up enough that it would be a liquid. And then I would rub it on and kind of, rub it back off, kind of like waxing a car. But I noticed that though it looks pretty on those boards, it still seems to be a little bit dull looking. So it seems like I've seen other boards that are shinier. So that's where I'm curious what the Odie's is going to be like. I've already had that, and I'm going to go ahead and give that a try. Plus, I figure if I don't like what it looks like on the board, it looks like you can use it on almost any other surface, whether it be granite or stone or many other things. So at least I will get some use out of it. I sanded these to 220 grit. I started with 150 after coming out of the planer. One thing that I always do is after I sand with 150 grit, I spray a little water on there, let it set, let it dry, and it raises the grain, and you can definitely feel that it does. And then I sand it with the 220 to get all that raised grain, smooth again. I think some people go to possibly, like a 320 grit. I haven't tried that because I know it may not do as well sucking in the mineral oil, because the pores are going to be a lot smaller. So anyways, let's see what this Odie's is going to look like. And after I do that, then I will put the feed on. My hands are too slippery to open this. Actually, I'm not sure yet. I don't think I have to warm that up from what I read. Yeah, it's pretty soft. So I'm excited to see what this will do. Kind of goes on just like the beeswax. This is actually I have my beeswax sitting on the register, but it looks pretty much like this. This has a different smell to it, though. That's for sure. Somehow I have a feeling that this isn't going to look any different after I wipe it, buff it off, but maybe it will. This almost smells like I've cut wood is what it smells like. It's interesting smell. But I hear it's great stuff, so we shall see. want to learn and start doing end grain boards, but I have a million other things I have to worry about right now, so I'm not going to start looking into that until I get everything else done. All the doing major work on my house. I've replaced all the hardwood flooring, and now I'm doing the staircase. So when I get that done, then I can focus on this kind of stuff, which I think is a lot of fun. But I wanted to have these ready for Christmas, and I basically did, but they weren't still finalized. So I don't know how long I need to let that sit on there. I don't think it says. I think you just wipe it on, wipe it off, buff in and buff off. Stir well. I didn't stir it at all. So I guess you'd have to warm it up to stir it. And it doesn't give any other directions. You have to go online to watch your video, which I did not do. So I will find out if I did it right or if I did it wrong. So I guess I'll go ahead and start buffing it off. Based on it being wet in there, I can't imagine it's gonna like dry like a wax, so I guess I'll just go ahead and start trying to and by the looks of it, again, I may not be doing it right, but by the looks of it, it doesn't really look like it gives any different finish than the beeswax that I have, which I spent quite a bit less money on because I mixed it with oil. Now the other question is, though this Odie's is a lot more expensive, maybe it'll have a lot more longevity. So I don't know that, but I'll soon find out, because I'll let my friend know what I used on what and see if it made any difference. But either way, it certainly looks a lot better and a lot different than when you just get done sanding it. Gives a lot of depth to the color when it's soaked in. All right, so let's put the feet on here. Crazy, I bought these feet, and a lot of the packages, that they come in, the screws were missing, so they substituted screws for me that were almost the same. See if I can hold on to these, that might be nice. And it's probably just as easy a lot of times to put the screw through it before you set it down, but anyways, I did it this way, so let's go ahead and screw these in. I have it on the slow setting so I don't end up ripping through, and I pre-drilled them, but I don't want to split the wood. I want to go slow. So that's nice and snug. So these boards are a lot of fun to make. And last screw. Okay, folks, get this out of the way here. Just final touches. Wipe this off, get it nice and even. Get this off the top. And the other thing, the board that's like this, except I did two cuts on. Obviously, it's going to be narrower, but I'm not sure how I misjudged, and it's also shorter. But I would have had more material to make it the same width. But you can see here, obviously it's the same, except for the fact that I shifted it. So here we are. Hope you like it. And have a great, you saw what the bottom looks like. And I did the handles, and each one of these is the same. Routed those in. You can do that with any different bit that you like, or any different way that you like. So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed.